Hello everyone, I'm Rainbow Rat and welcome to another Reddit video. Today, we are going through, oh god, what did I do? We are going through Witches versus the Patriarchy. It is a women-centered sub with a witchy twist aimed at healing, supporting, and uplifting one another through humor and magic. The goal is to at once embrace and poke fun at the mystical aspects of femininity that have been previously demonized and or devalued by the patriarchy. This subreddit is a safe space for women by I always read that as by POC, but it's like indigenous people of color and anyone in the Longevitities community. We are sisters, not sisters. If you do not consider yourself an ally, then the subreddit is not for you. We love that. Beautiful. We had a town festival, and there was a prayer booth, and I went all 3 nights that we had this town festival. And the first night I went, they like were shoving these papers at me, and I couldn't hear them over the music that was playing, so I was like, whatever. And then the next night, there was different people at the prayer booth that were like, like giving people prayers or whatever. And so I didn't go past it with my friends. But then I was eating a funnel cake, and I ate like not even half of it, and I was like, I want to save the rest of this for like another time because I am too full. And none of the food places had any napkins sitting out where I could grab them to wrap my funnel cake before putting it in my bag. So I went back to the prayer booth, and I was like, hey! And I like got a bunch of the different papers from them, but they also and I wrapped my funnel cake with it and then put it in a plastic bag and in my bag. It was great. It was very funny. I was like, guys, what if I do this? And then I did, and it was beautiful. But they also gave me this like tiny Bible. I don't even remember where. Oh, here it is. I put the binding from it. Oh, Jesus. Wrecking the place. It was this little New Testament Bible. It was just that thick. But yeah, I was like, I'm gonna take the binding for it. I'm gonna figure out how to put paper in it, because that's a cool leather binding, and I'll repaint it on the front or whatever. So I ripped all the paper out, and I was gonna burn it in my room, but then I was like, maybe I should actually take it outside first. So now I just have it in this like metal pot under my desk, and I'm gonna burn it probably tomorrow night. Because I don't want to burn it inside, because I realized that was probably a bad idea. Okay, anyway, we're gonna go. Ooh, what am I going next? This is a couple days ago. Great. We're gonna go top of all time, because I have not done this one before. And let this go. Cool. My heart hurts. Texas, where they value embryos over living children, where out of 50 states, they rank 50th in baby wellness checks, 50th in infant care, 43rd in maternity mortality, 44th in school funding, 46th in child hunger. The only people Texas cares about less than women are children. Yeah, it's not a good time in the U.S. right now, and especially in places like Texas. I'm lucky. I'm currently my state is in a good place. We are a little bit worried about the election, just because, I don't remember if I've ever said what state I'm in yet, so I'll have to see. I don't remember. But, yeah, because we've got our governor election is a bit of a joke right now. Anyway, today marks 60 years since the FDA approved the birth control pill. As we celebrate that anniversary, we must honor the Puerto Rican women who were misled, enrolled in clinical trials, and experimented on to test higher doses of the pill without informed consent. Reproductive rights should also mean the freedom to reproduce. Yeah, that happened a lot, and isn't it like technically, wait, before I say this, isn't it a form of genocide to, I could be thinking wrong, serious bodily harm, imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group. Like I say, isn't that technically a form of genocide to force members of certain groups to possibly become infertile without their prior knowledge and consent? A lot of good has happened from it, but that does not mean that what happened is good and should have happened. We could have figured this out with actual informed consent. Eventually. It's terrible. It really is a tragic backstory to the pill, and I mean, if you've ever been on the pill, you know there are side effects with the amounts we have now. I don't know what amounts they were being tested with, but I cannot imagine that it was pleasant, especially if they didn't know that that's what was going on to them. That is terrifying. I remember this one. A woman has sparked controversy online after she ripped off a part of the Bible asking wives to be submissive to their husbands and use it to smoke weed. That is amazing, and we love you for that. That is amazing. In Kiev, a woman knocked down a Russian drone from a balcony with a jar of cucumbers. How do they expect to occupy this country? Hell yeah! I've got a jar of cucumbers. That's amazing. To all teen girls, if you're ever being followed or hit on by a strange man when you're in public, walk towards an older woman you see and say loudly, "Mom, a strange guy is hassling me. He won't leave me alone." Every one of us has been there. We will all be there for you. That is very beautiful, and I'm sad that that is something that has to be said. Yeah, it is upsetting that we have to say this, but it is good that we can be there for one another. I am luckily in this part of my life where I've never gotten hit on in public like that, because I am generally unappealing. Not that it's a good thing to get hit on in public. I would take being generally unappealing over that any day. I don't know how, somehow I just dodged all of that by never going out in public when I was younger, and now I've heard of men harassing girls with rainbow hair, so I don't think that's part of it. I think I don't know, terrify them or something. I don't know. I still don't go out in public much either, so that probably helps. Yeah, but I am on the lookout to see, like, anytime, because I work at a grocery store, and I am a shift manager for the front end, like, the cashiers and stuff, and most of the cashiers we hire are, like, 16, 17-year-old girls, and so I'm always ready to kick out a customer for being, like, harassing them. Like, we've had to, like, kick out or ban a few customers for harassing our children that work there, and I'm like, we got one guy, he didn't work for our store, but he was, like, a deliverer or, like, some sort of deliver for a company we work with to do something, I don't remember, and I don't want to be too specific. But he kept hitting on this one girl that's 17, and, like, he knew she was 17, like, he asked, and he knew, and he kept doing this for weeks, or not weeks, he was watching her for weeks. He only started going up to her this one day, and the store owner heard about this and talked to her, and then he, like, called that guy's boss and got him fired because he was harassing this young girl that worked here, and we were all like, yes, go off, King, please. That I'm very glad that happened. I'm very glad he had that reaction when he heard that this was happening, because it's terrible. Like, dude, leave girls alone. Ugh. Okay. Teachers, the Supreme Court just ruled that you can lead your students in prayer. I hope you all are prepared to uphold and honor that decision. Bring out your prayer rug, your pentagrams, your herbs, the tarot cards, your Quran, your Tanakh and Talmud, your ram's horn, your Star of David, your Baphomet, your Satanic Bible, your altars, your Tibetan prayer wheel, your Book of Shadows. Yes! I love this. I went to a school where definitely a lot of the people were Christian, but I don't think we had any teachers that actually tried to get us to pray in class, which is good. I would totally be down to pray with my teacher if they did any of this. Baphomet, yes. I have Baphomet onesie. I should have put that on. I'm cold. I could probably wear it and not be, like, sweating to death like I was last time. So I think last time I ordered it was like July and I was dying. Wanted to share this with you ladies. In 1913, Sarah Rector, a 10-year-old black girl, received a land allotment of 160 acres in Oklahoma. The best farming land was reserved for the whites, as she was given a barren plot. Oil was soon discovered there and she became the country's first black millionaire. That is amazing, and I'm glad that her luck turned around, especially in like 1913. That is amazing, and I'm glad she got some of what she deserved after, I'm sure, life was not good to her in the first place. I'm glad something happened good. If I die in a mass shooting, I give you full permission to take my body, stuff it in a cannon, aim it at Mitch McConnell's office, and send my lifeless corpse sailing right through that motherfucker's window. Imagine a collective raw power of donating our bodies to haunting him and his party for eternity. Absolutely. I love that idea. Shoot my corpse directly to terrorize some evil lawmakers. We love that. Can you imagine not being human and just living out your days as a weeping willow, though? Beautiful, by the water, unburdened, ideal. I want to be that one from Harry Potter that beats the shit out of everyone and everything. I love weeping willow trees. They're so beautiful. There's one, the town that I live in, we have a small pond with, like, playground and that kind of stuff, and there's a weeping willow there that has been there for, obviously, probably longer than I've been alive, because I remember it being pretty big when I was a kid still, too. It was beautiful. Loved it. When I was younger, I would, like, jump and grab hold of, like, a, big handful of the vines at once and, like, swing around. It was great. I was a terrible child. But that was a great place. Or, it is a great place. I just haven't been there in a while. My witches, new South Florida synagogue has sued over Florida's 15-week abortion ban, contending the measure violates religious freedom rights. In Jewish law, abortion is required if necessary to protect the health, mental, or physical well-being of the woman. If you're gonna deny the separation of church and state that the U.S. is supposed to have, you best be prepared to follow it through with every religion and not just force your Christian bullshit onto everyone else's bodies, because fuck you. Whenever I scold my cat, I use the royal we so she doesn't feel so ashamed. We don't eat that. We don't chew on electrical cords, I say, and says if I, too, have a problem with eating wires or plastic I found on the floor, and she and I are working on the problem together. You gotta have some solidarity with your cat. Listen, I just call mine a bitch and a bastard, and she doesn't know what that means, so she just looks at me like I am the weirdest person in the world. And to her, I probably am. I am raging over this. Looking for a costume for my girl. She wants to be a bat. Why is the little girl's costume sexualized? Why is she wearing makeup? Why isn't the girl's costume warm and practical like the boys? They are children. Yeah, why does the girl's why does she have, like, bright red lipstick and, like, ripped up legging? What? That's so dumb. They are children. And they're gonna be cold. I remember when I was a kid, all of my Halloween costumes would get ruined because I had to wear a winter coat over them because it would be, like, snowing and freezing in October. And now it doesn't snow until, like, late December. We love climate change. And I think that's terrifying that I can physically remember the difference in what the seasons looked like just, like, 10 years ago. That is terrifying to me. How can anyone deny that it's happening? Anyway, this is disgusting. Personally, I would wear both of those. But I don't think we should be sexualizing children. Call me a weirdo, but I think that is morally wrong. I was told in r/embroidery that y'all would appreciate this piece. Reasons women get abortions. None of your business. None of your business. But in red. That is amazing, and we love that. That is beautiful. I like this new reformed Dracula. Hello, do you have a minute to talk about Dracula? No. Wait, Dracula? Yes. Hear vampires? Yes, we have pamphlets. Vampires have missionaries? Where else would new vampires come from? I assumed you bit people. There are many hurtful stereotypes. May we come in? Hey, wait a minute. I'm not entirely sure we should let them in, guys. My guys. I'm not entirely sure we should let them in. I would let them in. I would absolutely let the vampire missionaries come in. Listen, man. The Holy Woman. This 5,000-year-old prosthetic eye found near Zabul, I probably said that wrong, in Iran, is the oldest in history. It was made from tar and animal fat and painted gold. The wearer was a 6-foot-tall priestess. Do not remove the golden eye from the unnaturally large holy woman's skeleton, please! Oh my god, did they? Wait. Did they remove it? How do you spell prosthetic? I did not spell it right. Oh, here. Fact check. Discovered 15 years ago. Okay. Oh, they took it as a recent discovery. It was 2006 that they discovered it. Okay. It is an artificial... Okay, cool. Okay, so it's true, it's just older than it seemed. Okay, that's interesting. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's interesting. We love that. I dated a girl in college whose mom tried to talk her out of being gay by telling her she'd have to go through life without someone to open jars for her. At the time, it was upsetting, but in hindsight, I think I kind of loved that jar opening was the only use for men she could think of. Listen, I have a true story to tell you. I started testosterone last January, so almost 2 years ago. Before I started testosterone, I could not open jars. Now that I've been on testosterone for a while, I can open jars. Interesting. The conspiracy, it only gets deeper. Anyway, 99 years is the amount of prison time a doctor in Alabama will receive if they perform an abortion. 6 months is the amount of prison time you will receive if you nasty an unconscious girl next to a dumpster. Wake the fuck up. What the fuck? Taking my husband's last name doesn't mean I'm not a feminist. It means I don't want anyone I went to high school with to ever be able to find me again. No one that I went to high school with, or most of them that I went to high school with, don't recognize me anymore. My face didn't change that much. I just have some extra hair now. No one recognizes me. Dear Christians, our family would like to thank you for continuing all of our holiday traditions. Our Xmas tree, wreaths, Easter bunnies, and eggs still honor us, your pagan gods, Baal, Ishtar, and Tammuz. Thanks. Deuteronomy 12:28-32. Cat, I swear to God, if you touch my keyboard, I'm going to lose my mind. Thank you. Get on my lap. Thank you. This is Catherine Cat Messi, 72-year-old civil rights activist. She was brutally murdered in a hate crime this weekend while grocery shopping. Last year, she wrote a letter to the editor of the local Buffalo paper demanding stronger gun regulation. May she rest in power. Jesus Christ. And not like in the good way. What the fuck? That is terrible. And I hope that she is in rest, wherever she is. Cat, what are you doing? Senator Dorian, the daughter of in Republican Senator Dorian, has a message for her anti-abortion dad. Keep your claws out of my uterus. Love your daughter. Queen. Beautiful. Amazing. I want everybody to remember that the Supreme Court has said that the government doesn't have the authority to make people wear a mask when it later does. I am making so many words appear that are not there. That the Supreme Court has said the government doesn't have the authority to make people wear a mask when it later says it does have the authority to force women to give birth against their will. We love hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. My father-in-law told everyone to be quiet so he could say grace. My 2-year-old howled like a wolf. She worships the old gods. In the dark days ahead, as the U.S. moves toward Christian fascism, let us be this little witch. That is amazing. And I, too, will howl like a wolf whenever anyone asks to pray with me, which is not often. Let's break down the barriers of patriarchal social expectations. There is literally no rule that says you have to get married and start a family. Normalize splitting a mansion with your 5 best friends and 10 dogs. I think with my best friends and I, it would more like be 10 cats, but you know, I love the idea of just having like a big mansion with a bunch of friends and then just pissing off and each having your own little space, but also having like this big community space, not community space, but like group spaces, like your living rooms, rec room, whatever. I love that idea. And also, houses are expensive. I'm probably never going to be able to afford a house in my life. I would be lucky to be able to afford like my own apartment or whatever. I mean, the area where I live, it would be more like there. I would probably be able to rent a house. I don't think I'd ever be able to own a house myself. Even if I did end up going to college someday and like getting a real big boy job, I don't think I'd ever be able to afford a house. I know it's a place where I kind of just have to accept that because that is the point that our society is in, and it is depressing, but it is how we have to exist. Movie idea: a millennial couple moves into a terminally haunted house, but because of the housing shortage, they're happy to just vibe with the blood dripping down the walls, etc. Because holy shit, a house! Also, maybe they're witches. Yeah, it depends on how the ghost is. Are we talking like Casper haunting, or like Beetlejuice haunting, or are we talking like the Exorcist, or like one of them's? You are trying to eat my fingers, and I am trying to be here. Cat. There she is. There she is. She's happy. Okay. No, I don't know how to say that. Oglala Sui tribe is fed up with Christian missionaries telling them what to believe. We take pride in our identities. We are Lakota, and it's time to return to our ways, she continued. We don't want any more assimilation. We don't need any more churches, and we don't need your God. Christianity didn't become a world religion because of the quality of its teachings, but by the quantity of its violence, said Eleanor Ferguson, Oglala Lakota and representative of the International Indigenous Youth Council during a tribal meeting. Ow! That's my skin, you bastard! Your claws do not go there. The right to possession. Hey Christian, stop performing exorcisms. The demon has entered the body and it is not your right to terminate. Life begins at possession. Yeah. Just gotta let the demon do its thing. You chose to let it possess you. Accessories can really boost a woman's self-confidence. For example, I know I would feel 10 times sexier if I carried a sword with me at all times. Get off me. Jesus Christ. Superstar. My son accidentally colored something blue instead of green, so I told him to just color over it with yellow, and when it turned to green, he asked if I'm a witch, and I didn't say no, so now I bet he'll clean his fucking room. You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Christians, this verse says, in the Old Testament says X. Jews, it doesn't say that. Maybe, who knows? We do. That's not in the Hebrew. No one knows what the original language means. Yes, we do. We can read it. It's lost forever. Yeah. Maybe we should listen to the people who actually still have a culture that involves, like, learning to read at least part of it. From what I understand, I'm not Jewish, so I don't know. But from what I understand, like, they literally have to, like, read part of it as part of their bar and bat mitzvahs. They have to, like, read part of it. From what I understand, and, like, the scholars, the rabbis and stuff, I'm pretty sure, don't they have to, like, actually learn at least somewhat learn Hebrew to be able to read the original version of the Torah. That's the right one, right? The Torah. I get them a little confused sometimes, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, it's strange. Like, they actually know what they're talking about. Maybe we should listen to them. But that's crazy. We live in a world where girls and women are fined for trying to cover up while playing sports, but also expelled from schools if their shoulders are showing. Again, I dare you to ask why we're angry. They're fined? What? I don't know what story this specifically is talking about. This is from a year ago. Okay, I don't exactly know what this post is referring to, but, like, yeah, it's still a very big double standard. It's always too much or too little. You can never be correct. And it depends on the person. It's all objective, really, whether it is too much or too little. Subjective, objective, I don't remember which one's which. Oh no, it's subjective. Okay, so it's subjective whether it's whether you're weighing too much or too little to every person. But when those people are the ones in power, then you're just at their mercy. And whether you're correct or not, I can go. Shut up. I can go for a little bit longer, like 5 more minutes. How the fuck can there be anti-vaccine witches if you disagree with binding an invisible malignant entity to a single drop of potion that seals a subject's blood against the full force of that very same entity? Wait, I need to reread this because I'm not processing any of this. How the fuck can there be anti-vaccine witches if you disagree with binding an invisible malignant entity into a single drop of the potion? Okay, that's the vaccine, is the potion that seals the subject's blood against the full force of that very same entity's curse. Then you are not and can never be a witch. You're just a Karen who buys rocks. Excuse me. Yeah, I think that makes sense. That's literally very... My ex thought the eggs in my ovaries had shells on them, and I think about that every time a man makes a decision on women's bodies. I said this in my video that I just recorded about on Men's Lib. We need to teach everyone about all of the body functions of both sexes. Anyone who has a penis should know how, at least the very basics of how ovaries and eggs and that kind of stuff works. And I think people who have, like a vulva and uterus should be taught at least the basics of how a penis and testes work. Because, like, I don't know what a vasectomy does besides it as a form of birth control. I know that it's reversible. I don't know what the fuck a vasectomy is. I probably should look it up. I'm curious. But, like, I just haven't felt like looking it up. But, like, I feel like I should learn what it is. Because it's brought up a lot. I don't know. It's weird. See full image. Witchy vibes this Monday morning. I find it so funny that the Addams family is basically meant to be a caricature of what the polar opposite of the picturesque, happy suburban family might look like, and part of that includes a husband that is deeply in love with his wife, and a wife that doesn't resent her husband. Wow. People can like each other, mayhaps even love each other, and appreciate their significant other, and actually show affection in front of their children, and, like, actually enjoy each other after having children. It's insane. I didn't know that could happen. My 77-year-old Catholic aunt told us she made a meme and sent this in my family group chat. I pissed off half the family. She is such a treasure. When you realize that you've been fighting for reproductive and abortion rights for over 60 years and are right back where you started. I can't see because my cat is choosing to put her butt in my computer. You are an ass. Okay. Ow. Get out of the way. I swear to God, you bitch. That is my computer. You suck. You suck. And it's just the guy standing and staring. Yeah, no, that sucks. You were the... I can't believe we've gotten this far back, and it's just evil. Fuck the 4th of July. My 17-year-old self hauled my happy ass into a war zone to potentially die because I was told I was defending the freedom of choice and freedom of religion. I did not do that to end up with fewer rights than a fucking corpse. I am ashamed of my military service. Apparently I defended neither. A uterus-bearing army veteran. Yeah, no, that... Yeah, the government really said, fuck uterus-bearing veterans. They really don't give a fuck about any of us. The story of our lives. A breakaway female cyclist was forced to stop during a prestigious race in Belgium after she started to catch up with the men's competition, which had started 10 minutes earlier. They made her stop. Listen, if you don't want them to possibly cross, do them on different days. Or, like, wait till one's completely done to do the next one. It's not... She shouldn't have a time penalty because the men are slow. It's not her fault. My 86-year-old grandma, everyone. Get your... Rosaries off my ovaries. It's... I was like, rosaries? What are rosaries? I get it now. Rosaries. My therapist, and what do we do when we feel like this? Me, identify the oppressive social systems responsible and dismantle the fuck out of them. My therapist, oh yeah, that's way better than what I was gonna say. Cool. 13-year-old South African, I'm gonna pronounce that name wrong. I'm trying my best, and I went to Zulaika Patel. I don't know if I said that right or not. Led a protest with her schoolmates against her white-owned school's ban on natural hair in 2016. Good for her. She's about my age now. Yeah, because I would have been turned 13, 14. That's good for her, and I hope that she succeeded. Actually, let me see if the comments say anything about her succeeding. Let me look up her name, because I did want to know what happened. Oh, they did... Okay. They led a change in school policy, but also an inquiry into allegations of racism at the school. Asking me to change my hair is like asking me to erase my blackness. That is beautiful. We love this. And then that's caused other marches at other schools that had natural hair restrictions. I love that. I'm glad that it worked out for her, because I wanted to see, after I saw that was in 2016, I was like, that is 6 years ago. But that is still crazy. And it is crazy that a 13-year-old girl had to be the one to be like, hey, give me the correct, like, hey, that's racist, fuck off. Yeah. One more before bed. One more. Okay. I am the genie of the lamp. You have 3 wishes. I wish everyone against abortion wakes up 7 weeks pregnant. Oh fuck, that's a good one. Damn, you still have 3 wishes. That one's on me. Hell yeah, genie. We love that. I think that would be very funny, especially if they have caused abortions to be illegal where they are. Oh, yes. Guess you just gotta deal with it, my guys. Sucks to suck. I'm sleepy, and I have to go to work in, like, I have to wake up for work in, like, 5 hours, so I'm gonna go to bed. If you enjoyed this video, I hope that you enjoyed this. Fuck. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I will maybe do more of these if you like these. And this subreddit is cool. Spooky vibes. We love spooky vibes. And I will hopefully see you in the next video. Bye!